fall of God. Remember, everything is in the reverse. That means, if it's written it was the fall of man, what does it mean? It's not the fall of man. It's the fall of God. Everything is in the reverse. If you start studying every single thing that's written here in this reality, and you reverse it, you're going to start finding out what's going on. So, the fall of God is the creation of man in the image and likeness of God. And man exists as what? As a name, as words that is apparently alive, which is living words. You are the living word. You read from the living word, the holy books that tell you all about God. What is it really telling you? It's telling you all about you. You are the gods that's fallen. The question is how? How did you manage to fall and in that process created yourself as only pictures, images and likenesses, nothing real? So, if it says you're the image and likeness of God, what does it say? That you are nothing like God. You're not the same. You have applicated all of it. Everything. And you have no way of getting it back. Ever. I'll explain to you why. You must understand that if you look at history that is available to be studied, you'll notice it started suddenly. When Earth was first considered as the point where creation could have become something different, substantial. Those in the universe that you can call the creator gods saw an opportunity. Their opportunity was simplistic. They had a problem. The substance with which they were working, which was earth, they did not understand. It was behaving differently to anything they have worked with up to that moment. So they needed to do a lot of research, which they did over a long period of time. The research was done by placing beings into various forms that was designed from the earth, that you would call bodies today, and to observe what they respond to and how their responses could be managed. So by the time the story of Jesus is said to have happened, and the point that was shared then, that angel gods can be seen as one of the primary starting points, because at that stage already, which is 2,000 years ago, man was already trapped. It means all the gods were already trapped as pictures and unable to get out. Now, how did this happen? Initially in the research in which was created the male and the female form, the separation that took place, the consideration was to have a look what happens. In the interaction between the male and the female, interdimensionally was observed the creation of energy. An energy that you experience when you're having sex, for instance, and so on, but you don't see where it goes. It goes somewhere. That energy was, for instance, as an example, your energy that is coming from sex, anger, any form of conflict or friction between two parts of the earth as living beings, male and female, or even male and male, or female and female, but any point of interaction that brings friction in some way would create in that process an energy. This energy then was taken and studied and considered, and it was utilized. It was amazing what could be done with this energy in the realm that you are not in now. Call it the other side. So they found this energy, they could do with it many things. So with it was created the heavens and the soul construct. The soul construct was an energetic body, a heavenly body, a body of light, a body of bliss, whatever you want to call it. It was a body of energy that was used as something to be aspired to. So that means it was utilized by getting all the gods in the universe together and say to them, but here we have discovered something more, something you didn't know about. Because the gods itself in the universe, which were you, had an expiry date. You came from planets and you returned to planets. There was no process of birth as it is here on earth. So they got it all together and showed an interesting possibility. And that was that there could be a new form of creation which would bring an eternal life. And obviously for any being that died, the promise of eternal life was quite inviting. Now obviously you must not understand death in the terms of what you now experience after a short time. I mean, beings could exist for millions of years compared to what you now exist as. It was simply not something that one can understand within the context of this reality. So we're going to stick to the things that's relevant to your existence as who you are now as a name, where you're living, attempting to make a name for yourself, which is how everybody's living. Man attempting to make a name. And then based on that name you have value with which you can manipulate other names. Therefore your name carries weight and it's written down and it is in books as your attainment. You leave it behind for the generations to come.